Good evening, everybody. It's Claire Clements here, co-founder of Positively Empowered Kids. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel today. We are joined by the lovely Liz from Best Self Academy tonight. So welcome, Liz. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
That's all right. It's great. So I've been watching your business grow and watching your posts with real interest, particularly on Instagram. So that's how I kind of found out about you. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about the business to begin with?
Okay, so the business is called Best Self Academy, and basically we offer workshops around mindset for children and adults. We also offer retreats for adults. We do one-to-one coaching, and we also have a line of products for both children and adults. It's all about encouraging, motivating and inspiring people to be the best version of themselves.
Sounds absolutely brilliant. And I'm guessing at the moment the retreats probably aren't happening.
No, well, to be fair, the retreats are off, the workshops are off, but we've pivoted and we've created some new things around this time, which, to be fair, we're probably going to carry on with. So it's been a good time to actually revisit things, and look at what we actually can do that's more online based.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how so many businesses have had to kind of reevaluate what they've done, and actually, I think it's providing some quite exciting changes.
Definitely, yeah, yeah.
How has it affected you guys then? What are your kind of plans moving forward at the moment?
Well, basically, at the time when obviously everything came to a bit of a halt, we seen the impact that it was having, on people, and obviously people's mental state. We our first call to action was let's help people.
Yeah.
So we created 2 free online isolation programs. So we created one for adults and we created one for children. Both had 10 modules and they had a video and a set of worksheets each. So
Wow.
Basically for the first 4 weeks of isolation, we were releasing a workshop a week. So it was adults was one a day for 2 weeks, and then the children's was one a day for the other 2 weeks. So the response has been great and it's been really helpful. We've seen lots of videos of the children, doing their affirmations and writing on the sheet, I am brave, I am kind. And there's been lots for adults based around anxiety and reevaluating their life and the direction, creating peace and happiness. So we're really, really happy with that. And, it's made us get the content quick and get it out because we knew people needed it. So it's been great to be able to deliver something like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure that's really valued. I mean, there are a lot of resources out there, aren't there, at the moment? But that sounds great. The fact that you've got the stuff for the parents and for the kids as well.
Yeah.
So what kind of led you to, if we kind of rewind a bit, so kind of where did your business start? Kind of what inspired you to kind of start all of this?
Well, I've worked with children anyway for the past 12 years. For 10 years, I worked with children, but in a different industry, which was a national franchise company that I founded and built over the 10 years. I wanted to continue to work with children, but I had, you just know that you're on another path.
Yes, I definitely know that.
Yeah, and I was like, I had that company when I was 20 up until I was 30, and I was like, what I wanted when I was 20 isn't really the same.
Yeah.
As when I'm going into my 30s. So Best Self Academy started off as Best Self Club, which was just a children's club. When I shut the national brand, I was just like, I just want to do clubs for kids. That's all I want, because I knew that was where I could offer the most, and I knew it was where I felt my best, and it was what I loved. And people would say, oh, after the workshop, are you tired? But I would come out with more energy than what I went in with, because the children fill me up and it's what I love to do. So me and Laura, both of us that were in Best Self Academy, that's what we love to do. So it started out as the children's, but I'm a coach and NLP practitioner and study psychology anyway. So I have worked with adults, coaching and mentoring. So it just sort of went into one, and it ended up being a kids and adults thing, and went into academy. It just sort of organically grew.
Yeah, and I think that's the most amazing thing. It's the same with this, really. It's just snowballed, and it's just like you say, it's happened organically. It's like, whoa, suddenly all these elements have kind of come together, and it's like, this was meant to be.
Definitely. I think that's when you know you're in alignment, when it's easy, when things are flowing and, you know, the universe is bringing things to you.
Absolutely. And I definitely know that buzzing feeling when you're kind of, you know, you're working with kids and you're doing something you love. It's just an incredible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Fulfillment.
Fulfillment, yeah, absolutely. So you have, obviously you've got your workshops and things. You also do some products, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, we have children's like mirror decals, like stickers, but they don't ruin the mirror, so the
Brilliant.
children can take them off and put them on and move them around, and they say "I am" on, and we've got our little branded poses, we call them, which are children in multicolored t-shirts, and the children stand in front of the mirror and they say "I am," and then they say brave and loved and kind. So we've got those. We've also recently published our 2 workbooks on Amazon. There's a children's workbook and an adult's workbook, and basically that was only, I think, just over a week ago, and it is absolute. There's so many people that have had them delivered that are tagging us in the post and showing us the pages, the children working on it, and it's a great time, isn't it, really, as well, for us to be able to spend that time to work on ourselves and build the children's emotional intelligence. So we've got lots of new products coming up as well, and we've got like colouring books and journals and lots of different fun stuff.
Yeah, lots of, it all sounds like that it's very sort of interactive, which is what the kids need to kind of really sort of enforce it in their brains and to kind of make it you know, have a lasting effect.
Yeah, well, I've actually learned a lot around accelerated learning, and how you know how you're learning is how much you retain. You know, as
Right.
long as you're having fun while you're doing it. I'm dyslexic as well,
Yeah.
so anything that I do has to be creative. It has
Yeah.
to be very very simple, organized strategy, lots of
Yeah.
colour and lots of
Yeah.
fun. So I'm basically like learn like a child anyway. I love it.
I can see why I was drawn to you when I when I kind of see all your stuff. That's exactly what, you know, well, positively empowered kids, but also my other business, Positive Pants, is very you know, it's very like that. It's all about the creative play to kind of then get them thinking and to reinforce it, and you know, they end up laughing their heads off, and
Yeah.
that's when you know they're going to remember what you're telling them, you know, even if it's just small parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So would you say with the the workbooks, are they to be done, are they sort of 2 independent products, so or do they kind of overlap, that, you know, if I bought one and my daughter bought one, would you kind of do them together, or are they kind of standalone?
Well, they are standalone, but everyone that's been buying adults have been buying the children. So I think it's sort of crossing over in where basically parents are scheduling time with the children to actually work on mindset and emotional intelligence, which to
Amazing.
me is just like,
That's the dream.
yeah. So I think mum can obviously, or dad can work on their part of what they want to do in their workbook, and
Mm,
then the child can obviously there's a tracker in it. So
right.
there's like they go like I am brave, I am happy, I am kind, and there's a section on each, and you can track it, and then at the end of the book there's a certificate.
Lovely.
So it's like there's 10 sections for mum and dad, and there's 10 sections for the children in their book. So you
Yeah.
can do like a section together of an evening, and then
Yeah.
at the end you can tick your tracker off of what bit you've
Yeah.
done, and then you both get your certificates at the end. So it's a journey to go on
That's
together,
so
but
lovely.
yeah, but a completely, you know, separate journey and learning.
Yeah, yeah, so it's appropriate for each person. But I mean, I
Yeah,
love that, because I know, for example, my daughter is more likely to do things if she sees me doing it.
definitely.
So we had one of those diaries, it was the 365-day one, so, you know, every day you write what you've done or something you're
Yeah,
grateful for,
yeah,
and it's like 5 years. You know, she only remembered to do it, or wanted to do it, when she saw me doing mine.
yeah,
So I think that's really powerful, even if you're doing things slightly independently from each other. You know, as we know, you know, the
yeah.
children really learn from the adults.
Yeah, it just went
Yeah.
off there for a
Oh,
second.
oh, you're right. Yeah, you froze for a second. Still here. Yeah, just saying, you know, that just really important. I think that, you know, kids are kind of learning from the adults. You kind of mentioned before, when we had a little bit of a chat about, you know, the importance of parents getting their mindset right first. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just feel like to do a children's workshop and talk about emotional intelligence and things about growth mindset and positive mindset, when actually, I know when I was in school, no one taught me anything like that.
Mm.
And my parents didn't discuss that with me.
No.
So now our adults are supposed to know it. God knows,
Yeah.
unless you actually went and done self-development and went within
Yeah.
and became more conscious and actually took the time out to learn and develop yourself, you're not going to know it.
Yeah.
So we can stand there all day and teach the children a million things. And then they go home and the parents don't know about it. So
Yeah.
for us, the point, we want everyone in the home and everyone in the house to know this. It's so important for our growth. I mean, everything, even, in the adult work, it's all about psychology and relationships, attachment styles, things that I believe, should be taught in school.
Absolutely, and that's that's one of our biggest missions, is and this is why we love our collaborations and bringing you guys on board and things, because we can all make so much more of a difference together than kind of separately. And I mean, do you think, I mean, it's interesting, and it's probably a really long conversation that we could have about this off camera, but what do you think the impact of the coronavirus is going to be with the education system, and what do you think it should be when the children go back?
I think when the children go back, tell me again what you mean about because they've been off school or because of the virus and anxiety. Like, could you just elaborate?
I think a bit of both, really. So I'm really conscious that the impact of the kind of trauma that it's having on all of us, even if it's subconscious, is going to be passed on to the children, coupled with the fact they're at home, they're missing their family and their friends, then the sort of anxiety of putting them back into the school. So I guess there's two questions, really, isn't it? It's, how do you feel the children have been affected by the coronavirus, and are you concerned about that? And I guess then the next question would kind of be, what do you think schools should be doing when they return to help support this?
I feel like there should be a lot more mindfulness within school now. I think the hustle and bustle of the pace needs to gradually work its way back in.
Yeah.
I think everybody has took a back seat, a life has slowed down for us all.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm a very introverted person, and my day, I decide my own structure from when I get up to when I sleep, pretty much. But for the likes of people who have a set timed job, it will have massively disrupted, their life. And I mean, I can't imagine how difficult it's been. I mean, I know having the children at home through the summer holidays, this is like an added stress because it wasn't expected. And I think it's going to have impacted people a lot with just how much or how unexpected it was. There was no preparation, was there? I mean, there's been a lot of support for people. I think people who were really busy will have found it beneficial to be with their family.
Yeah.
But lacking any type of time management or organisation will have made it harder.
Yeah.
I've been coaching a lot of people with daily routines, just because if you don't set it out, the day just passes, doesn't it?
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? You can just feel like you've achieved nothing. And not that you have to achieve every day, but
I remember the first week I didn't have anything in place. I was just like, wow, what's going on? We can't go out. Oh, like, okay, everything's cancelled. Just like, wasn't really sure what was going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't have like any plan in place. And I found myself like doing nothing and I was like, what is going on? So I sat myself down and made myself a routine and a planner.
Right.
I then decided what I was doing was I got a month's planner out, and I said, well, okay, say for instance we're in this lockdown for 4 weeks. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So if I'm in my house now, what can I do to prepare for when lockdown releases?
Yeah.
How can I be of service during this time in my industry for people who need me?
Yeah.
So I put one thing a day on the monthly planner. Exactly one thing a day. Within 1 month, we created 20 online workshops, published 2 books, and the courses have gone live on 3 different platforms. That was in 1 month.
Yeah, and that's how we feel. I mean, I've certainly never been as busy as I am now, but I'm absolutely thriving on it. I'm loving it, and you know what? As you say, the right place, the right time, the amount of things that have happened as a result have just been, yeah, I don't think I'd even believe if I told you everything that happened in the past few weeks. You know, probably not as much happened in the whole year last year. So
Yeah,
it's
we feel the same, but it's because you're of need and of service, and I think hopefully people are going to understand the importance of all the empowerment and mindset. That mindset is not just something that you work on when things go wrong.
yeah.
You know, you go to the gym for your body, your mind has a gym, and your mind runs everything else. So you work on your mind before you do anything else, because your mind runs everything.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so how do you think that schools should be sort of incorporating this when the children do go back? I know you said about, you know, kind of a gradual process, kind of return to the normal, you know, not chucking kids in at the deep end, I guess is what you were kind of saying.
Yeah, so more timely, but I think there needs to be a lot more around mindset and actually acknowledging and validating feelings.
Yeah,
So having like a type of class within the curriculum that is actually asking the children of how they're feeling.
yeah,
You know, like it's why is it just like, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why is it just that? Why is that okay?
yeah.
I'm like, what? So you're just fine? You're
Mm,
just fine? Is that, you know, like I feel like it's for us. We need to acknowledge how we feel and talk about it and be okay with that. And I think that's a massive thing for the children. But because adults, us as adults, how are you? Hey, yeah, I'm okay. You okay? Yeah, that's it.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, I'm not. I tell people if I'm not okay.
yeah, yeah, but I mean, you know, you're just passing in the street. It's just a
Yeah,
norm, isn't it? You know, it's
yeah,
just like a
yeah,
normal thing. So
yeah,
I feel like there needs to be a lot more around the validation of feelings and understanding things. And like when I was saying to the children, like, it's okay that you feel like that, you know,
yeah.
like that's okay. And
Yes.
they're like, oh yeah,
And I
but
think, yeah, sorry, I interrupt you. I shouldn't do that. But I kind of felt that I think that the impact of this is going to last a lot longer as well. And I think, you know, some people, you know, it's like with all traumas that happen in life, you know, some aren't going to actually start to show signs of it until, you know, maybe even a year's time, before they actually process actually the enormity of what's just happened. Because maybe, you know, like us, they're in the thick of it, or, you know, they've been kind of, you know, looking on the bright side of it, or whatever. Everyone's situation is completely different, isn't it? So
yeah.
I think it's important that schools don't just suddenly react, that it's actually brought in, like you say, to actually be consistent and to be part of the curriculum. And I don't see any part of our future that should then be removed.
No, well, it's the only thing that's getting us through.
Mm,
So why would you not think that we need it every day? You
yeah,
don't just need it when we're having a crisis. We need it all the time. It's
yeah,
how we keep up,
absolutely.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Mm.
Well, it's been brilliant. I could carry on talking to you, and we'll put the words to rights, and I'm sure we'll have other conversations. But was there anything else you wanted to say to everybody out there watching today?
Um, oh, that was a very good question. Um, do you know what? I'd just like to say that no matter what's going on in your life, no matter where you are, circumstances don't mean anything. It's
Mm,
literally 10% of what happens and 90% of how we respond. And I think
yeah,
so many people limit where they are and where they're heading based on their current circumstance.
mm,
When really, whatever you want to do in your life, you can do. But it's about wiping the slate clean, completely clean, and ask yourself little questions like, what would I have done 10 years ago? You
mm,
know, if I didn't have to work and money wasn't a thing and we didn't need it, what would I spend every day doing? Really start asking yourself these questions and exercising you and your personality and you know, your inner self of who you are, because ultimately that's our happiness and that's how we be happy every day. So yeah, just do you, be you, and be your
that's
best self.
lovely. I'm glad I asked that question now. What a great answer.
I don't know where that came
From the heart.
from. Yeah.
So just a very last thing, where can we find you? Where can we keep in touch with you, and where can people learn more about you?
Well, our website is bestselfacademy.co.uk, and we have Instagram, Facebook, and it's Best Self Academy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh,
It's been
thank
a
you.
real pleasure getting to know you, and I'm sure the people watching will have had found some really useful information in there. And go and get the workbooks, and use
Yeah,
this time to work through them. And I'm definitely going to be going to get some of the
mhm,
affirmation stickers and things.
yeah.
So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Bye.